Alright, we're, at Superhuman Gambit. We're gonna be going over this, a little bit again because my recording fucked up last time. Can I ask you more about the
If
AntAgonizer and
it'll
the
help, I'm
Mechanist?
glad to. But one day there was a crazy woman leading a bunch of ants into town. She said humanity was dead and the ants would inherit the earth, stuff like that. Well, that gave Dom plenty of time to line up a shot or two on the ants. She ran away, but every once in a while she'd stage an attack.
An attack.
She wasn't much of a threat then. In fact, she was sort of entertaining at first. Gave everyone in town something to talk about. But when the Mechanists started fighting her, things got bad. Ants are easy to shoot, but add robots with lasers, it got real nasty.
Can you tell me about the Mechanist?
The Mechanist used to be our town mechanic, Scott Walensky. Quiet guy, but plenty fierce with a wrench and some solder. Guy used to take care of a robot that protected the town, until it got torn up in one of the AntAgonizer's lame little attacks. I guess he took it personal, because he made a mechanical suit and called himself the Mechanist, said he would lead a robot army to fight her. Now he doesn't even respond to his name, and his robot army is more dangerous to the town than the ants ever were.
Know anything else that could help me stop them?
My nephew Derek might know more about them. I swear it's all I can do to keep him from running into the fight whenever they come out. He might know more about where you can find them, but don't encourage the poor boy. He's had enough close calls.
That's enough about them.
I most heartily agree.
Can I get some directions around town?
Glad to help, glad to help.
Where can I get some food?
You'll want to talk with Joe Porter over in Dot's Diner. I don't know who Dot was, but I'm sure Porter's food does her memory proud.
Where did the caravans set up?
When they're in town, you can find the caravan trader out front of the town. They say it's a good way to catch a visitor's eye.
That's all I need to know. What can you tell me about Canterbury Commons?
Ha! Damn near everything, I suspect. I founded the place myself, and I'm the reason this place stays fat and happy.
Why did the traders come here?
Because I asked them to, I suspect. I grew up in these trade caravans, known most of them my whole life. I founded this place with my sister Daisy back in the day. Perfect stop along the caravan circuit.
How organized are the traders?
They're just small caravans that make rounds through the wastes, hawking their wares from Paradise Falls to Rivet City. They won't trade with anyone who's hit their friends, but that's about as organized as they get.
Have you thought about organizing the traders into a unified group?
I had thought about it, but some of these Wasteland traders, well, they aren't exactly the organizational type. It'd take a pretty savvy businessman to make it worth their while to work together. Frankly, I'm not sure even I'm up to the task.
Master Trader, under my organization, they'd see better profits and more bargaining power.
My. When it comes to sales, I can see even I've got a few things I could learn from you. Well, in that case, I can act as your representative to the caravans. They'll listen to me, and I'll listen to you. Just let me know what you suggest in the way of specialties, and I'll let them know to focus on that area.
Let's talk about weapons.
Then you'd be looking for Lucky Harith, adventurer, martial artist, and occasional collector of the most deadly items known to mankind. He's a bit of an eccentric, but he deals in more weaponry than you can shake a sharp stick at. In fact, he's probably got a sharp stick, too.
He should expand his inventory.
Harith's got quite a lot of weapons, but I'm sure he could improve his stock. An investment of 200 caps should see to that nicely.
Master Trader, take my advice. It can be done with only 100 caps.
Well, your financial advice has never steered us wrong before. Done.
He should expand his inventory further.
If Harith were a less reputable man, I'm sure he could use his armory to collect even more weapons. But he's a merchant, not a raider, so it's legitimate means only. Like a legitimate investment of 500 caps.
Master Trader, with my guidance, it can be done with only 250 caps.
I suspect you're right. Done.
Done! He should expand his inventory.
That simply isn't feasible, I'm afraid. Harith's gear already rivals some mercenary armies. Anything further would be asking for trouble.
About
Sure
that.
thing. Interested in any of the other traders?
Let's talk about armor.
Our man Crow handles most armor and clothing out on the trail. He grew up a tribal, but he traded in his loincloth for much snappier apparel long ago.
He should expand his inventory.
It takes a fair amount of capital to expand into higher quality material, you know. Improving Crow's wardrobe would require a one-time investment of, say, 200 caps. Well, your financial...
You should expand his inventory.
Crow's
Again.
armor is already rather extensive, but I'm sure it could be even more impressive for a one-time investment of 500 caps.
Should expand his inventory.
At this point, the merchandise of our man Crow is the best in the Wasteland. I fear it's beyond improvement with further investments.
It's enough about the traders.
All right, you're the boss.
Let's talk about the trade caravans.
Sure thing. Which one would you like to talk about?
Let's talk about food and chems.
Ah, then you'll be wanting Doc Hoff, or the Good Doctor, as he prefers. He prescribes everything from a good meal to stim packs to things that'll make your brain get up and dance. The Good Doctor's lab equipment isn't cheap. It'll cost about 200 caps for him to offer higher quality material. Well, at this point, it would be hard to improve Doc's medicine cabinet without a significant investment. Say 500 caps should suffice for him to offer a whole cornucopia of pharmacopoeia.
Funny.
As much as it hurts me to say it, there's really only so much that money can buy. The Good Doctor's supply cannot be improved at this point. Sure thing.
Do you have any traders that deal with miscellaneous goods?
That'd be Crazy Wolfgang. He does repairs and general supplies, but he prefers to call himself a junk dealer. As he says, he's overjoyed to assist those who have a deep need for his junk. He's just like that. Says it catches people's attention.
Can he offer a wider variety of junk?
With an investment of about 200 caps, I'm sure he could improve the quality of his materials, or at least offer more of them. Well, your finance...
He should offer even more junk.
At this point, it would require another pack Brahmin to carry his wares. But for 500 caps, I think he could offer more.
He should expand his wares further.
At the moment, Wolfgang's practically carrying an entire junkyard with him. Anything more, and he'll have trouble with the traveling part of being a traveling salesman. All right.
Anything to trade around here?
You can usually find one of the trade caravans at the entrance to town. They come through every day or two. Other than them, Porter's always got food for sale down at the diner.
I don't know where the entrance to town is, but, yeah, for improving the trade caravans, now, for each unique merchant, they will give you a unique item.
Hello.
Yeah, I'll talk to you in a minute, Derek. Got the Brahmin there. I wonder why they called him Brahmin. That is Hindu mythology, if I do recall.
Yes?
Dominic del Sadro.
Newcomer to town, huh? Well, I'm Dominic Delasadro, and welcome to Canterbury Commons. Try to ignore the idiots in the costumes. Popular activities around town are trading, listening to row yap, and burying thieves in unmarked graves. Of course, we ran out of... Oh, saw to it myself. Might be a dead art, unless you're planning on stealing anything.
No worries, I wasn't planning on stealing anything.
Sounds like a good plan. Keeps the traders happy that way. And it means Machete and I get to save on ammo.
What do you know about the AntAgonizer and the Mechanist?
Bro hired you to put a stop to their shit, did he? Guess he finally listened when I told him I haven't got the time to do it myself. It's easy enough to hide inside when those two square off, but they're only getting worse about it all.
What can you tell me about the AntAgonizer?
I don't know who she is, other than a crazy with an ant suit and a chip on her shoulder for humanity. She wasn't much trouble by herself, really. Her attacks were a joke, but at least stories of her kept some of the raiders at bay. If it